Namaskaram, everyone. A very warm welcome to you to the TEF Talk series. This is the 8th in our series. Today, our episode is about enabling hope. The title of our episode is Enabling Hope, which is a compassionate insight by Dr. Sulata Ajit of the SANKALP Foundation. So, this is the 8th talk of the TEF Talk series, sponsored, organized by the Empower Foundation. The Empower Foundation, as you know, is a nonprofit organization from the US, and our goal and our mission is to educate and empower girls in India and providing them with all the skills that they need to become productive, independent members of the society. Lately, we have also started providing scholarship to high school graduates here in the US. I'm Renu Sethamadhavan, a sponsor of the Empower Foundation, and I'm based here in the US in Florida. So as I said earlier, today marks the 8th installment of our Tech Talk series, which is aimed at showcasing some very remarkable women who are trailblazers in their respective fields, and they have made significant contributions to the society. People, women who we can really look up to, who we can learn from. So our team, including our directors, our mentors, our sponsors, our well-wishers, we are all committed to this cause, and we have the privilege today of introducing a woman who is making a profound change or impact on some of the most marginalized groups in our society, which are individuals with disabilities, especially children. So April being Autism Awareness Month, we are really honored to have Dr. Sulata Ajit with us. Dr. Ajit is a special educator who specializes in autism, learning, and intellectual disabilities. She is also the founder, director of SANKALP, which is a nonprofit organization based in Chennai. They offer comprehensive education to children and young adults up to the age of 26 with disabilities, and equipping them with all the skills they need to thrive as valuable members of the society. She's also an expert faculty for the state resource group under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. So Sulata, we extend you a very warm welcome from all of us in the TEF family. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy schedule to be with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's truly an honor to be, doing this, especially for the young girls. So I look forward to I'll try my best to, give away whatever I can through this talk. Thank you.
Which is a lot, Sulata. So thank you again. So shall we start our conversation?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Sulata, can you tell us a little bit more about your nonprofit SANKALP? So you started off as a psychology major, and then you made the switch to special education. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ പിന്നിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും റീസൺ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നോ, സംതിങ് ദാറ്റ് ചേഞ്ച്ഡ് your path, or what motivated you to set down this path?
Yes, so first to talk about Sankalp. Sankalp means in Sanskrit wish, aspiration, determination, a will. So all this fitted into our organization. It was started in a very humble, small way. The three looked, we three hit it off, and our husbands too were very, close to this cause. And we thought, why don't we start something on our own? And in this particular area where we started, there weren't any special schools. So that's how the whole journey began in way back in 1999, and this is our 25th year. So we have been blessed, I should say, with the support we have got from our donors, from our parents, the children, the teachers, our support staff. So it's been a nice, long, difficult, but successful, I should say, where I am satisfied with what I have done, or all of us have done put together. So, just to talk about myself, I did my psychology in Bombay then. So in our college, we had a special school, and psychology being my background, we were told about the special school, and we were, given the liberty to go and volunteer in that school. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ആ സ്കൂളില് കുട്ടികളുടെ കൂടെ doing little things for them, it was small things, making charts for the teachers, helping them out in their lessons. അങ്ങനെ തുടങ്ങിയ ജേർണിയാണ്. And I never in my wildest dream thought that I would take up disabilities or special needs, or so it was not started with, I was not like, a child dreamt about all this. So psychology or a passion, I know, other it developed into, and this was slowly it started becoming close to my heart, because when I started working, or when I started volunteering with these children, that's when I felt I should do something. Avada work in a teachers node choichu, I asked them how can I get into this field. So that is how the journey started, because they said you'll have to do a B.Ed special education. So B.Ed regular alla, a special education. So I didn't know all these things. I didn't know I knew about a bachelor in education, but I did not know there was something in special education as well. അപ്പോൾ അത് ചെയ്തു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് I worked in a special school in Bombay, and then moved to Chennai, and then joined this particular school where I met my partner. So that was, if you ask me, the motivation, or the first step into this whole journey was the school where I volunteered. So probably I owe it to them, and they're still running the school there pretty well. So
okay, that's amazing story. So Sulata, ഞാന് സങ്കല്പിന്റെ വെബ്സൈറ്റിൽ നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ you talk about a very holistic way of educating these children. Your school looks amazing, and the children, we watch the videos, they look so happy. It's a very cohesive process. That's how it seems to an outsider like me. അപ്പോൾ എന്ത് തരം എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ, ലൈക്ക് വളരെ ഹാൻഡ്സ് ഓൺ ആണോ, അവർക്ക് ടെക്നിക്കൽ, is it more like a technical school where they are taught skills that will help them when they are out in the world?
Yeah, so for a special school, you have to see what type of disability you're catering to. But palataram disabilities under, there's visual impairment, hearing impairment, cerebral palsy, that is physically motor disability. അപ്പോൾ ഓരോ ഡിസബിലിറ്റിയിലും ഓരോ തരം സ്കൂളാണ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്. So when you plan a school, or when anybody wants to take up, studying disabilities, we choose like specialty, we choose what we want to specialize. B.Ed is just a just a base. Other then we can do specialize in different multi-disability, multiple, disability. Angana. So, ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്കൂളിൽ we are catering to particularly 3 disabilities. Autism, which is called autism spectrum disorder or ASD, intellectual disability, which is earlier it was called mental retardation. Ipo adu intellectual disability enna paraya, and specific learning disability, which is called SLD. Adila dysgraphia, dyscalculia, dyslexia, adakka varum. Commonly called as all, these are all put together, and the umbrella term it's called specific learning disability. അപ്പോ ഇതിന് ഓരോ ഡിസബിലിറ്റിനും ഓരോ തരം ഇന്റർവെൻഷൻസ് ആണ് പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്ന. The methods are very different. When we look at children with autism, and so it's very different. We have 2 separate schools. That is why we had to separate it into 2 different schools, and the set of teachers are also very different. Because they are specialized in, if it's SLD school നോക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവർ SLD-ലാണ് ട്രെയിനിങ് ചെയ്തേക്കണം, and autism and ID നോക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ they are trained in autism and ID. So രണ്ട് സ്കൂളിലും we have a holistic approach where we start right from 3 years to up to 26 years. അപ്പോൾ ഓരോ ക്ലാസ്സിലും വേറെ വേറെയാണ്. The approaches are very, very different. We start from, special education. We have speech therapy, we have occupational therapy, we have physiotherapy, we have other activities like physical training, yoga, skating, music. A lot of extra co-curricular activities in both the schools, schools. But the other school will have, maybe karate or ഓരോ കുട്ടികൾക്കും എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് it suits them, we take those subjects, and for every activity we have professionals coming in. So they are trained. Yoga എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ yoga teacher or yoga master ആണ് വരുന്നത് ആ സ്കൂളിൽ. So it is not that the teacher teaches. Any teacher teaches yoga or music or whatever. So and then we have the older children, right from 14 years to Molka, the children have to go into vocational courses. So we have a whole set of vocational activities as well. Ipo ee autism school la nokki kayna, we have bakery, confectionery, weaving, tailoring, sewing, we have embroidery, paper bag making, painting, gardening, data entry to do with computers. Adilam palataram activities, and a lot of variations. The reason being ella kuttalkum oro interest ai. Our interest നോക്കിയിട്ട് what we can give each child is what. So it's very, very child specific. We make an individualized education plan. So it is very, very child centric. It is very, very child specific. So it is not like a regular school where we have a standard curriculum and then everybody learns the same thing. അങ്ങനെയല്ല. So we make a plan. We have a plan. If English എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ English will be taught in 7 different ways for 7 different children. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഓരോ ചൈൽഡിന്റെ അബിലിറ്റിയും വീക്ക്നെസ്സും നോക്കിയിട്ടാണ് we prepare a curriculum. So it's done in a very professional, very systematic way. And we try to give the best for the child, and we educate the parents as well. So parents are also kept in the loop. Parents nodum parayanam, because we are working with the children only for so many hours. Adu kayna they go back to their houses. Avadeyum it has to be carried on. So that is why we call it holistic. It's a one-stop place for a parent, because these are the therapies which this particular disability requires. For matte disability they will require many more physiotherapy in a little more intensive way. അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ വേണ്ടി വരും. അപ്പോൾ so it depends on which disability you're catering. So that is why we said we will stick on to these disabilities only, because the building also has to be planned in that particular way. For a blind or a visually impaired kutti eduthu kayna, we need to have tactile flooring, we need to have railings, we need to have, for physically challenged, you need to have ramps all over the building. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ഓരോ ഡിസബിലിറ്റിനും ഓരോരോ സ്പെസിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ട്.
To me, this sounds like amazing. I feel like this is how all schools should be. As an educator, I feel like the regular schools are, it's like teaching fish to climb a tree. So this sounds like the ideal setup for all kids. But my question is there like a shortage of special education teachers? നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഹയറിംഗ് സമയത്ത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരുപാട് പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാവുമോ ഈ സ്പെസിഫിക് സ്കിൽസ് ആൻഡ് ട്രെയിനിങ് ഉള്ള ടീച്ചേഴ്സിനെ കിട്ടാൻ?
Yes, absolutely. Renu, we are always scared or worried if one teacher leaves, then what happens? Because we don't have a whole set of applications which come in and we can get to choose from the teachers. Angane illa. There is definitely a shortage because see, we need specialized teachers or teachers who have done their training in special education. Appo special education eduthu kayna, it is coming under the Rehabilitation Council of India, and they are all certified special educators. They get a number like any doctor or anybody. They have a license number to practice. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനത്തെ ടീച്ചേഴ്സിനെ എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. So we cannot take anybody and everybody who wants to do, I mean, just somebody walking in and saying, I want to work and I want to spend some time here. And so we don't encourage that, because it's a profession. It's a very professional field, because they may not understand it is not pavam. It is not sympathy we are looking for. So it is empathy. And angana teachers ne kittanum vishma, because nobody is entering into this field. There are very few people coming into this field of special education, because again, it is not a very paid, remuneration is very low. Teachers ne korvana, special educators na adinatum korvana. It is not a very paid kind of a job. So, even parents of children with disabilities, now the latest what we see is parents or mothers are getting trained. So it's good and bad, I would say, but because they become a little emotional unless you have a very, very stable mind and stable sense of accepting any child with problems. So it is a challenge to get not only special educators, even the other para fields, like I told you, occupational therapists, speech therapists are equally important. But speech therapists are even more difficult to get. Occupational therapy, we need infrastructure. They cannot leave very fast. But speech therapy, speech therapy just requires a room with some, a small equipment with little, tools. Anybody can start a speech therapy unit anywhere, even in their houses. Speech therapist na kittanum veshmana. They play a very important role. So it's a team effort. So when we plan, everything is planned together, because they leave, they're taken out from the class, they are given therapy, and they come back to class. So they are very much part of our ecosystem. So we need special educators, we need speech therapists, we need occupational therapists, we need the parents, we need, it's a whole group. So it is difficult. We are trying to get there, but yes, it's a challenge to get educators.
Okay, so there are a lot of employment opportunities in this field. If നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികളെ, if they choose this field, if there are a lot of employment opportunities available in this field. എന്താ പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞങ്ങളുടെ എംപവർ ഫൗണ്ടേഷന്റെ കുറെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ആവാനാണ് ആ കോഴ്സിലാണ് they are planning to become teachers. So you think that this will be a very good field for them to consider as speech therapists, occupational therapists, special education teachers? These are all opportunities out there that are available.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're a special education teacher course എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ you can be assured of a job immediately, or you can even do things from home. So you're licensed to even practice from home. When they have, because they also need some sort of home tutoring also. You don't even have to go outside your home. You can get them to your houses and work within the system. I mean, within your house. So Adam Chiyam, and it's that way it is well paid, because when you have home tuitions or home, we call it remedial tutoring or remedial teaching, and that is quite a well paid. You can parents are ready to pay, because they cannot take care of their children, and so they need some support. അപ്പോ അതിന് പലതരം ബെനിഫിറ്റ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. ഇത് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ്ലി ടീച്ചർ ആവാനും, ഇപ്പൊ കേരളത്തിൽ എനിക്ക് അറിയില്ല, ഒരു സ്കൂളില് ടീച്ചർ ആവാൻ ഇറ്റ്സ് ക്വൈറ്റ് ഡിഫിക്കൾട്ട്. ബട്ട് I feel if you take B.Ed special education, or pursue even M.Ed, or you can do all that. So special education field is very very പക്ഷെ അതിനുള്ള ഒരു മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാവണം. That fear and other ഉണ്ടാവാൻ പാടില്ല. So that is the only thing to look for.
അതിനോടുള്ള ഒരു actual passion, which,
Yes.
like in your case, you can develop it by working with them. So one more thing, Sulata, you got your PhD for 2014, Sulata, your PhD, you got it from
2021, very recent.
that is amazing. And you got your PhD from UK. It sounded very interesting that they work in India with you to get your PhD. And so can you tell us a little bit about that, and also about that special training that you provide at SANKALP to become special education teachers? You said you have a 2-year program.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the journey with PhD was never in my agenda, never on my bucket list, never even thought I would do it. But this was a very fascinating thing which happened. I just got a mail from, I was in the mailing list of another school similar to ours in Bangalore. And അവരുടെ സ്കൂളിൽ they were starting a course, a MA course. It was a master's program in inclusive and special education. So special and inclusive education. Inclusive education എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ കുട്ടികളെ സ്പെഷ്യൽ ചിൽഡ്രനെ മെയിൻ സ്ട്രീം സ്കൂളിലേക്ക് പറഞ്ഞയക്കാൻ. So how do you send them to a mainstream school? Because in India there is something called the RTE Act, Right to Education Act, where you are entitled to, every school is kind of bound to take in people with economically or challenged or physical, special or അങ്ങനത്തെ കുട്ടികളെ എടുക്കണം എന്നൊരു ഒരു ഇതുണ്ട്, norm ഉണ്ട്. There are children with special needs who are in the mainstream school. Inclusive education is very new. It's a very new terminology. It's very difficult and challenging. So I was looking at inclusive education, and that's when this thing, I got a mail, and I said, why don't I try it? Because the main thing was UK and undergo. I said, oh God, I'll have to go to UK. I can't do all this 2-year program UK. I have my family here. I can't leave all this and go. But the best part was they would come, the mentors or the professors from the university were coming to Bangalore, and they were taking the course there, and I had to just go for a week there. And and my studies was my study or my project was everything to do with my school or my work. It was nothing to do with the Western world. So only their way of presenting or their way of putting projects together in a very Indianized, way, or Indianized kind of methodology. So they were not looking at what you could do in the West, because they all knew we are all teachers from India. So so this was a very interesting program, and it was a 2-year master's program. So that's when other kind of they were talking about PhD, and they were kind of trying to tell us that you could do a PhD as well. All of you could think of doing a PhD. So the Parnyaplakyam, all of us were like, oh God, it's a long journey. And I said, no, I'm not getting into all this. So just finished with this. I have my school, I have my family, I'm pretty happy with. And Sankalp was going strong. So I said, I need to take care of the school. And afterthoughts, and because that is where the teacher's role is. My mentor, who was, the professor from UK, he was an excellent, and he is still an excellent teacher, an excellent mentor, and still a good friend. He's my friend, philosopher, guide, whatever you call it. He was a motivating factor, I should say. He was the one who put this thing into my mind. Why don't you think of a PhD? Because um, it would do good for your school. It would do good for your other staff as well, because they will have a good person, or by doing your PhD, it gives kind of a more of a wholesomeness to running an institute, which is a big institute. Adana, that was my step forward to do my PhD, not my aspiration or not my will or anything like that. But I think the mentor or a teacher plays a very important role. So he has been a big leading force into my that getting into that role. So, and I had an excellent journey with my program. Of course, COVID happened, and I had to just go once to UK for my induction, and so again they were coming to India, and we were getting mentored. So we are 3 of us who did the program, and then 3 others followed from the next cohort. So now we are 6 of us, and we have now there are many more students joining in for the PhD program. So
Okay. യുകെയിലേക്ക് ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം പോയാൽ മതി, ബാക്കിയെല്ലാം ഇവിടെ
yeah, yes, of course. Viva was because it was COVID times. We had to go for our Viva there. But if a COVID died, I had to do my Viva online. And I think they still have. So it's called an offsite program. It's called an offsite education program, where you are in your school or your place where you are working, you're studying, you're doing your regular work, and you study. So you're an offsite student.
Okay.
So
സങ്കല്പില് പിന്നെ പ്രീ ഡിഗ്രി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 12th കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള കുട്ടികൾക്കും എന്തോ ട്രെയിനിങ് ഓഫർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട് എന്ന്
yes.
മെൻഷൻ ചെയ്തത് എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്. അതിനെപ്പറ്റി കുറച്ചുകൂടെ പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
Yeah, so this is again a program specifically for to become a teacher. Again, it has to be an RCI course. So anybody interested in doing special education, you have to be careful in what you choose, because it has to be an RCI recognized course. RCI is Rehabilitation Council of India recognized course avanam, because otherwise you are not a recognized special educator, because there are a lot of people who are doing short-term courses and they claim to be special educators. So I'm not against them, but I feel there has to be a kind of a principle in which we work, because what the course does is it certifies you, and you are certified to practice, or you're certified to teach children with special education, because special education is a very 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 niche area. you have to be very careful in handling these children, or very careful in interacting with them. And so, Adila, any course that anybody is doing, if you said you have these girls who are interested, they can do a RCA recognized course. So, ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്കൂളിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഓഫർ ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത് DED. It's a diploma program which is for 2 years. അതിൽ ഡിപ്ലോമ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് even children who have just finished their 12th can get into the program. And you can even write in your native language. ഇപ്പോൾ മലയാളം ആണെങ്കിൽ മലയാളത്തിൽ എഴുതാം. There is no compulsion that you have to write in English. ഇപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്കൂളിൽ തന്നെ ഇപ്പൊ 2 students candidates are going to write in Tamil. So but the teaching is all in English. അത് തമിഴില് ഞങ്ങള് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കും. We all speak Tamil, so it is okay. We tutor in Tamil and in English. So it's a 2-year full-fledged course. It's a full-time course. It's mornings. They have practical where they are in classes. They are placed in all since we have the school, they are all in the classrooms. So they get hands-on experience to work with the children. It's for the 3 disabilities which we are catering to. So അപ്പം ഞങ്ങൾ അങ്ങനെയാണ് ചൂസ് ചെയ്തത്. It's called DED, Special Education in IDD, Intellectual Developmental Disability. So it all comes under the term of developmental disability. So they go for training in the other school as well, SLD in the ASD in the and ID in the. So they do their practical training, and in the afternoon we take theory classes for them. So അങ്ങനെയാണ്. And there is inclusive for next year 2 years. First year is for special education, second year is for inclusive education. അപ്പോൾ inclusive education എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ മറ്റേ regular സ്കൂളിലും പോയി they have to teach, because after you pass out you don't have to work in a special school. You can work in an inclusive school, into a regular school as well, because എല്ലാ regular സ്കൂളിലും ഇപ്പോൾ special educators എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. It is all over India. ഇപ്പോൾ കേരളത്തിലായാലും there are schools which are employing special educators, because again I told you the Right for Education Act, they are in need of special educators. മറ്റേ ടീച്ചേഴ്സിന് കിട്ടും, ബട്ട് സ്പെഷ്യൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്റേഴ്സിന് കിട്ടാൻ വിഷമാണ്. So if you are a certified teacher, you are definitely you're assured of a job.
Okay, that will be something that will be great to consider for our girls. So what other, Sulata, you had a variety of experience over the past, like you said, 20 plus years. So ഞങ്ങളുടെ കുട്ടികളോട് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു മെസ്സേജ് പറയാനുണ്ടോ? Because you said your profession has given you immense satisfaction and joy. And in the കാലത്ത്, many people don't look at that aspect. It's more of a push to go into fields that, has more prestige, so-called prestige or money. പക്ഷേ നമ്മളെ job satisfaction, the satisfaction of giving back to society, അതിനെപ്പറ്റി നമ്മൾ ഒരുപാട് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. അപ്പൊ സുലതയ്ക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ആ ആസ്പെക്റ്റിൽ നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികളോട് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു മെസ്സേജ് ഉണ്ടോ പറയാൻ?
Yeah, definitely. When we look at a profession, I am blessed to have been in this field, because I did what I studied. So that there are not many people who they study in one line and they're forced to get into another job, because that job doesn't pay them, or that job is not there for them. They cannot get into the jobs which they have been trained in. So adu undu. But yeah, so one thing is vision in life, I would say, or a vision of what you want to do in life. You can even, when you give back to society, you don't have to do, that's not your full-time job. You don't have to do that on a full-time basis, because I know money is important. ഇതൊക്കെ ഞാൻ പറയാം, ഇതൊക്കെ ഞാൻ ചെയ്യണ്ട, but of course my family is there to support me, so I can do it. But everybody is not blessed in that manner. So if it is your livelihood, it is difficult to survive only with probably only being a special educator. Of course, it will give you job satisfaction, but definitely money no ki kainya. It is, government is improving the pay scales and it is doing that. But definitely you can do it as a part-time job also. You can study this and given your best or your inputs, what you have learned, like I told you, even if you educate one child with special needs, I think you're giving back to community. It is not, you don't have to do it, ഒരു 10 പിള്ളേരെ എടുത്ത് പഠിപ്പിച്ച്, if you can do it well and good, but if you are even giving back to the society in your own way, or you are talking about um, ഒരു ടീച്ചറായി ഒരു സ്പെഷ്യൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്ററായി you can give back to one or two or three children, that itself is a good good feeling that you get, because the main thing is the focus. I think we need to look at what you want to do, your focus, your vision, and then of course your passion. So it has to come from within. Either it can't be forced, it can't come from, especially this field, because it's a difficult field. It's a very very not a very satisfying end of the day field as well. It is frustrating. Some days are hard, because you don't get, you can't get through to a child very easily. So there have been very frustrating days for our teachers. But I must say, the satisfaction which we have got as collectively in Sankalp has been, the attrition rate is very low. So teachers who have been with us these 25 years, I have more than 50% of them who have been there with me from 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 plus years. Not only teachers, even the non-teaching staff or the support staff. So we have support staff who have been with us for 20 years. So that itself is very satisfying, because, I mean, why should they stay? Sometimes I look back and say, why should they be there with us? So probably, that satisfaction they have and what we have given them, the freedom to work, the way they are, giving back to society, or I don't know what the whole feeling is, but we are a good, happy family. So I
That's
should say we
good.
call it Sankalp family. We don't keep them apart from any of our, we are very open, direct with them, tell them what is happening, challenging times. We share everything that is, what happens. So, so that way, touch wood, uh, again and again, I thank God for, these 25 years and many more to look forward to, I hope.
That's wonderful. Sulata, when I talk to you, I'm reminded of this saying by, our former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam. Your best teacher is your last mistake. Uh, so, you give me that feeling that when there is a teacher like you in a person's life, they stand a much better chance of becoming successful and leading a life that is very positive. So really, it's what you are doing is amazing. Do you have any other thing in your bucket list before to wrap up to our conversation? Is there anything else that you really would like to get done in the future?
Yeah, just disseminating the knowledge what I have acquired. I have how I have been, I or we, all of us put together. It's a team. It's a complete teamwork. So getting the second run, because we are all getting old, so we need to have the second run. The young gen coming in and taking this up and taking this forward, because. We need to keep that mantle going, and that is probably what we are looking at, all of us put together, getting the second run to take it forward. We have slowly started it, but it'll take time. um, So that would definitely be on my bucket list. If I can hand over things to my, other colleagues, I can sit back and look at, mentor them, guide them from the back. But I would like to let them take the lead and go forward. So we are not here to last forever. So, but Sankalp it should last long. And
Absolutely. And we all wish you the very best and hope you do more and more wonderful things in future. So on behalf of TEF, on behalf of all our viewers, Sulata, we want to really, really thank you for all the wealth of information that you've given us. ഞങ്ങള് ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാം കേൾക്കുന്ന കുട്ടികൾക്ക് I hope it is they have learned something from this and they will take this information and do something to give back to our community. So again,
thank you. Yeah, thank you, and all the best to the girls whom you are supporting. I think you people are also doing, a wonderful job, especially with girl children. Yes. So all the best to all of you to do, grow in leaps and bounds, and let many more girls get educated and take our country forward.
thank you. Thank you, Sulata.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay, that was a really fantastic talk with Dr. Sulata Ajit. So I want to thank you all. Thank you to our mentors. Thank you to our sponsors, our viewers, our well-wishers. എല്ലാവർക്കും വളരെ വളരെ നന്ദി for being here. We also want to visit our website, the Empower Foundation website, which is www.ourshakti.charity. And you can view all our previous TEF Talks here. So ഇന്നത്തേത് എട്ടാമത്തെ ആയിരുന്നു in the series, and we have talked with many other wonderful women. So please do take time to look at our website. And we also have our Instagram and Facebook, where we showcase all the different things that TEF does in the US as well as in India. So we hope that you really enjoyed this TEF Talk series, and we look forward to being with you in the future too. Thank you so much. Namaskar.